If you really don't trust me, come with a real. You hip in the front seat, get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, skrilling a tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth on the 1s and 2s, and a very merry, celebratory Flannel Sam in the mask chair.
Ooh, got some more champagne specifically for this show. Man, I'm gonna be like hammered off champagne by the end of the day, but that's all right.
That's a good drunk. Champagne drunk's a good drunk.
It is.
Pouring a lot.
I can't say for sure, actually.
It is.
It's a beautiful
Sam's happy boy today.
Yeah, he is. Obviously, you know what happened by now. Michigan laid down on Ohio State. That was one of the most impressive halves of football I've seen in a long time. They came out there in the second half, absolutely dominated in all facets of the game. Only let up 3 points. Donovan Edwards went for like 200 yards in the second half by himself. J.J. McCarthy started setting the tone by getting a couple big rushes, and it was impressive, man. It's all there is to it. It was an impressive victory. They went out there and dominated, and we're obviously going to get into a lot of that. But first, we got to talk about Cocaine Bear. I don't know if you guys saw that trending on Twitter or not, but
I saw it trending on Twitter, but I don't know the context behind it.
I don't know. I guess they're making a movie. Yeah, they're making a
movie.
movie of it. Apparently, a bear got into a shipment, ate a pound or two of cocaine, and started going crazy.
For like 5 minutes before it actually died.
Last 5 minutes of its life were probably
Lit.
off the chain, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Movie.
Yeah, but I'm all there for
It was literally a movie.
We got some leftover champagne from Braylon and
Courtesy of Guardian Alarm. Shout out. Hashtag stay out.
Stay out.
Both are true in this case. But yeah, Cocaine Bear. I saw that trending. There was a meme as like Titanic, Infinity War, and then Cocaine Bear is number one.
I'm watching Cocaine Bear for sure.
Definitely watch Cocaine Bear. I just don't understand how long of a movie you can make
5 minutes
of that story. if the bear only,
it's gonna be a 5 minute cinematic
worth
masterpiece.
Yeah, like I don't.
You know that one like metal song that they make him use? Like, what the is going on? It's gonna be that with a bear going crazy for 5 minutes.
Fudge, man. I kind of want to.
It's got my money.
I am. My interest is peaked. I ain't gonna lie.
My interest is peaked.
My interest is definitely peaked.
Bears, cocaine, better than beats. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out for sure.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear is probably a little bit what happened with Flannel Sam this Saturday after that win, huh?
Hey, I'm not going to tell you all that went down Saturday night. Let's just say that I can't confirm or deny of whether I've been to bed or not since then. It's been a long, great weekend.
See, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cocaine Sam today.
That's for sure. Flannel cocaine is what it's all about. But no, we're definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah. Some breaking news for the Lions too.
Yeah, breaking news from the Lions. Charles Harris listed on the injured reserve. So he's going to be out, 4 to 6 weeks?
Yep,
and
probably for the season at
they
this
called
point.
up James Houston to fill his spot, obviously.
Officially on the active roster now.
He earned it,
Yeah.
2 sacks and a fumble recovery.
40% of the time, sacking the quarterback.
So,
can't beat that.
It's impressive. It's impressive. I'm happy for the guy. It sucks for Charles Harris, but he gone.
Yeah.
He gone. He out of here.
100%. Then I'm going to send you a video real quick, Sus, actually. Chris, I apologize. Of T.O. T.O.'s caught outside of CVS. I don't know, are we allowed to play TMZ stuff? If like TMZ has like the watermark over it?
I don't know.
That might be a stick question. But T.O. was caught outside of CVS throwing the hands.
Really?
And he actually dropped the dude.
I mean,
you didn't see it?
No, I did not.
Oh my!
I would assume he would.
For sure.
T.O.'s a intimidating man. He's a big man.
Yeah,
I would not want to fight.
I'm taking T.O. versus Citizen any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
Smash the over.
100%.
Yeah.
Dude's built different. Dude,
he's crazy.
Yes.
So that helps a little bit.
He's also like 46. He's built like an Adonis.
And he's still running
to this day.
Still running 4.7s or 4.5s.
Seriously.
Like, Lions should sign him.
He is my favorite. There's two of my guys I like the most. Like out of, I sent you the video too, Chris, if you want to download it. But two of my favorite football players of all time, Terrell Owens and Richard Sherman. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
But there's something
you're
about,
crazy.
I am crazy, a little bit crazy.
I know you are.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But it's something about like being able to talk the talk and then walk the walk.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more of an expectation when you talk that.
That's what happens when you try me with a sorry ass receiver like Crabtree. Made Aaron Andrews cry on live TV.
on the Best corner in the game.
Best corner in the game.
And the other thing too with Richard Sherman is like he was never like uber athletic. You know what I'm saying? He was always just like the cerebral was like his strength, and to like just be that smart at football. I guess that you're able to like survive as like a non.
Yeah.
Because I 100% admit that Darrell Reeves is a better cornerback. He's my favorite player to watch. I'm not telling you he's the best cornerback, but I just appreciate like what he brought to the game. But here's T.O. shooting the fade.
Yeah.
Is that the proper way to say that, by the way?
I didn't play the audio
fade
for this
outside
because
CVS
there might be
with a heckler, some rando.
That's T.O.?
T.O.'s in a white.
Well, I mean, yeah, I assume T.O. was the
the
taller,
massive
bigger
human
guy.
being.
Yeah. I know, yeah, we turn around, you could even see the dude, and then he drops him
bing.
here. It feels like a jab look like, too.
Oh, he dropped him.
Like, come on. And he's nice enough to help him up after.
I would not try T.O.
Hell no.
I would never try T.O.
Hell no.
Not a lot of professional athletes I would try, but definitely not T.O.
Literally, like, when I watch this, I'm like, yeah.
Russell Wilson, you try.
Russell Wilson, I'm trying for sure.
Russell Wilson sleep you, bro.
No,
Russell Wilson
Not a
sleep you.
chance.
Easy.
not a chance.
That's right.
He stole Future's girl.
Yeah, Future would sleep Russell Wilson.
No way.
Yes, he would.
You really think Future would sleep Russell Wilson?
Yes.
I got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
We just talk about professional athletes, and he's like
Yeah, Russell Wilson's a chump, though.
Yeah, but also Future's like leaned out a lot. So
Yeah, that's
leaned
fair.
out. Yeah, there you go.
And gives him superpowers.
Coming on all types of drugs.
Like cocaine
I think
bear.
it does the opposite.
Lean bear. No,
No,
We-
that's a longer than 5 minutes.
that's a longer than 5 minutes.
You know
so-
what? Can you make that a poll? Who would win a fight, Russell Wilson or Future?
Okay, I
It's
guess.
supposed to be a big Michigan. I could do it if you want. It don't matter.
We're gonna have a big Michigan show.
We are gonna have a big Michigan show, guys. We aren't
Flannel needs his
Michigan
victory
fans,
lap.
so we're obviously delaying it a little bit. But a couple things on the docket. We want to ask if is Jim Harbaugh him? Is it him Harbaugh? JJ McCarthy, he definitely deserves some praise.
Yeah, for sure.
Even as like a I actually admired everything he did this past Saturday. That was amazing from him. Can they actually win the national championship? Is a conversation we're going to have. I'm sure everybody had it throughout the day, but it's our turn to talk about that one. And then C.J. Stroud. Believe it or not, the L.A. Rams pick, the Detroit Lions own, has fallen to the top three.
Top tree.
And, some
Stafford's
people
looking
want
nice.
quarterbacks here. Stafford, yeah.
He might be done for the
Saying he
year.
might be done for the year. I'm going to save it for later on the show. But just know if potential, the Lions are potential suitor of C.J. Stroud is the same stock up after that game.
No.
2 picks. We'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? We got that stuff. And, of course, we got to sneak in with Jameson Williams. Because, this is the date, the game that everyone was, circling after they said December.
Yeah.
Well, that's technically the first game of
It's the
December.
First game of December, it is.
So, Dan Campbell did come out today and said it's a long shot. But I feel like he's kind of, required to say that.
Yeah.
You don't want the other team to
Can't
know.
juice everybody up too much.
Yeah.
I feel like he has to play.
But before we do anything, Sam, I think you should chug that cup on camera.
Oh,
The entire
absolutely.
thing.
All right.
And then give us a Michigan monologue.
Man's got a haircut
Yes.
too, by the way.
Man got a haircut. He's feeling good. That's the second cup he's chugged already.
Cocaine Sam.
Let's hear it.
Saturday was one of the greatest days of my life. It was
You just got married, too.
one of the greatest days of my life. And I know we're going to get into all the specifics very, very soon, but I lived through some very, very dark times as a Michigan fan. I lived through the last year of Lloyd Carr through 2020, the last year of Lloyd Carr with the Appalachian State defeat. 2008 to 2014, the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke years. The first 6 years of Jim Harbaugh were disappointing. Last year and this year, Michigan football has turned a corner. We have officially entered a golden age of Michigan football, starting with 2021, that who knows how long it's going to last. The Big Ten is now Michigan's now. It's not Ohio State's. Michigan took it from them. And I was wondering for so long if I'd ever see this day. And now it's here, and it's glorious, and I'm going to soak it in. I'm going to soak it in on Big D Energy. I'm going to soak it on the heavyweights with you guys. It's a
It
great
sounds
day.
sexual. I don't think it is, but it sounds sexual.
Ooh, well,
The more you
it
drink, and the
isn't.
more he gets
It
talking
isn't.
sexually.
Hey, it
22 years since they won the big the shoe,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
It's a
and
long time to not be sexual.
hey, a lot of pain, a lot of pain in those 22 years.
This is the first team to win in the shoe since Michigan State in 2015.
Are you serious?
The first home loss of Ohio State since 2015
To a Big Ten team.
to a Big Ten team.
Okay. Who went there and beat them?
Michigan State in 2015.
No, outside the Big Ten.
Oregon.
'Cause- Oregon?
Oregon
Oh,
definitely
you're right.
did.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually last year? The year before that?
That was last year.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive. I do. I guess, and I actually maybe should have made this its own topic. But do you think this is more indicative to like Michigan being up or Ohio State being down? Are they entering the Rich Rod era?
No, see, I think it's more Michigan being up because there's a tangible thing that Jim Harbaugh did that I think correlates a lot to Michigan's success. He fired defensive coordinator Don Brown, who in 2018 and 2019, his defenses gave up 62 in 2018 and 56 in 2019 to Ohio State. Back then, Michigan was the team that could overwhelm opponents that they had more talent than, but against Ohio State, that defense they were just overmatched and they didn't adjust. And once Jim Harbaugh fired Don Brown and brought in Mike McDonald and then Jesse Minter, it's been the defense against Ohio State that has really been the catalyst and really caused them to win those games and win a Big Ten championship last year, go to the playoff, and this year win it again and go to the playoff. So to me, I think it's more about Michigan being up than Ohio State being down.
And we have some requests in the Woodward Sports chat. One from Mike G with an X. Can we get Flannel Sam to slam one more, sing the victors, and then hump that tree in the background?
I don't hump the tree, but you
I don't know
should
about
definitely
humping the tree, but you should definitely
slam
slam
one
another
more.
one and sing the victors.
Pull it up, slam another.
I'll slam another one, but
Let's go.
I don't know all the lyrics to Hail to the Victors. I know.
I do.
Oh, you know all of them?
Yeah.
I know.
It's to your right, but next to the pillow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
There's a couple of requests. What was the other request? One's for Liz. I saw that. Was that Michigan man Jason? Where's my Liz at?
Yeah.
I have actually a question for Jason. How did you find out her name? I gotta know that. Have you shouted out during a read or something like that?
No.
Michigan man Jason. What's going on, bro?
I think it's from the final word. He's
you pull it
probably
up?
been hanging around.
Let's
in the
go.
chat, so.
There you go.
All right.
Then hail to the Vickers.
Dude, I'm going to be
Victors.
hammered on this show.
That's what we like. Chuck. Flannel Sam has been putting him down today. There it is. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, let's hit it, Sam. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Right?
Bum, bum, bum.
Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Go Blue!
There you go.
I think I got that right.
I think so.
Big
I
Blue?
think they like changed the last one. It's like leaders and best, champions of the West,
Oh,
champions
yeah,
of the
yeah.
rest. It's I don't know.
Bars.
They switched around a lot. We're gonna have Flannel Sam put down a couple more in this here
Show.
commercial break. But first, let me tell you guys about Big Boy. Because for a limited time, only all new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not the Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. And guess what else is new? The bacon blue. Don't forget about upgrading those fries, too. They got chili cheese fries. They got nacho fries. And they got the banger of all bangers, the baked potato fries. So make sure you go satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Oh, yeah, see me.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Chili Peppers Tannings, where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. They got all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5. $5, y'all. And while you're there, do yourself a favor. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more coming.
Chili Peppers, Dan.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TV booth, JB Smooth, the 1 to 2s, and Cocaine Sam joining us from the Maz chair today. Sam,
Yo.
one more chug for the people.
Ah, dude.
Just one straight out the bottle. If we get it done through the first hour, you'll be good through the second hour, you know?
Need some food.
I need Taco Bell.
Let's go!
All right, it's gone. It's gone.
It is gone.
This was full when I got here.
There you go, Sam.
Break it over your head. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds like my opening day.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Spinny, they're already chirping at us in the comments a little bit.
Yeah.
Friday show before we head into the weekend. You and I both sat here, put on a wax that we thought Ohio State was going to win this football game.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's because of the absence of a fully healthy Blake Corum, which seemed like their entire offense, especially the prior week against Illinois at home.
Yes.
And I was like, that doesn't look good. You and I actually together watching into that one.
Yeah, we did.
And I was like, without Corum, I don't really see them getting it done. Beforehand, I swear to God, on everything, I thought they were going to win the game. But with Corum not healthy and having the shit show, I guess I'd say, against Illinois at home, it just didn't look pretty.
It did not.
No one expected JJ the ball.
I did not. I did not expect that to happen. We hadn't seen it all year. I don't think anybody expected it to happen that way, in that fashion. It was impressive. Like I said, without Blake Corum, who has been the majority of their offense for the entire season, Michigan went out there and manhandled Ohio State in the second half. That's all you can say. It was an impressive victory. It was a dominating victory. And it started really in the first half with J.J. McCarthy throwing the ball down the field. You saw Cornelius Johnson finish the game with 4 catches for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, those are Randy Moss Thanksgiving Day numbers. He made some great plays. And then the defense is what stepped up the most. The defense, to me, is what kept them in the game. Because that game could have been 21-3. Ohio State after the first couple. I remember I texted Sam about halfway through the first half, and I was like, it's not looking great right now, man. What's your worry number? And he said it's at 8.5 right now. It's not great, and I understood it because they didn't look like they couldn't run the ball. JJ missed a couple throws, and it seemed like Ohio State was moving at will. Yep. But the defense stepped up. They kept them in that game. They made plays to force punts out of to force field goals and punts out of Ohio State, which is something I didn't see coming. And they went out there and dominated. And then in the second half, it was just a complete landslide of domination for Michigan. You saw it with, obviously, it started with J.J. McCarthy running the ball. Sam, you can attest to this. I'm a big J.J. McCarthy fan. I remember seeing him come in the end of games last year's, making ridiculous throws, like on the run, off his back leg, 50 yards down the field. I was like, Jesus Christ, why isn't this kid playing right now? And he comes in there in this game, and he does everything I haven't seen him do all year that I've been waiting for him to do, that I've been asking, why isn't Jim Harbaugh letting this kid cook? And he was making the throws in the first half. He dotted, obviously, the one to Cornelius Johnson, you throw it anywhere, and because he had 20 yards of separation. Sure. But the other one to Cornelius Johnson, when he had a face full of pressure off his back foot to the sideline, beautiful throw. And then coming into the second half, they started letting him use his legs, which is a weapon that Michigan hasn't had out of a quarterback in a long time. Since Devin Gardner or Denard Robinson, whoever you want to say, they haven't had a quarterback that can run like that, and he finished those runs. He wasn't running out of bounds. He was running through the face of Ohio State defenders. So that was impressive. And then it obviously ended with them going back to Michigan football, line them up, shove it up their butts, and Donovan Edwards popped off 2 70-plus yard rushing touchdowns to put the final nail in the coffin. I thought I was going to have to drive my dad to the hospital. My dad was in the garage. and you all know he's still recovering from his surgery. He was screaming louder than I've ever heard him scream in his entire life. Wow! I was like, Dad, you're going to pop a stitch or something. He was so happy. It was an extremely impressive win by the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, no, that was one of the most impressive wins, honestly. I don't want to say in program history, but in recent years since I've been alive. And like Spencer said, it all starts with the defense. Overall, they held that high-powered Ohio State offense to 23 points. And going into that game, if you're a Michigan fan and you said, we're going to hold Ohio State to 23 points, it's like, we're going to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
And J.J. McCarthy, the guy that I fought for hard in the offseason coming into this year, as this is a guy that can take your program to the next level. We hadn't seen it all year, except in very small doses, but they were winning. It didn't hurt them. But in this game, in the first half, when Michigan couldn't run the football, it was J.J. McCarthy who made the plays that kind of catapulted that offense. When it was 10-3 and it was 3rd and 9, I think we all were, as people watching the game, kind of thinking, like, how the hell is Michigan going to win this game? But he hit that 3rd and 9 throw to Cornelius Johnson. And then Cornelius Johnson, who also deserves credit, shook a defender, took it all the way to the house. And they gave him a field goal. And then again, J.J. McCarthy hit the deep ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't a difficult throw, but he still had to hit it. Cornelius Johnson had to run a great route, and he took it to the end zone. It was 17-13. And then in the second half, J.J. McCarthy had a 19-yard run, and then another deep ball to Colston Loveland, which was a beautiful throw. And then after he had J.J. McCarthy had kind of set the table, started the game, added a rushing touchdown, it was Donovan freaking Edwards who was the Mariano Rivera and closed that game out with two 75-yard-plus runs.
Impressive.
It was amazing. Michigan absolutely dominated Ohio State. They took their manhood again. They choked the life out of them. And now it's Michigan who runs the Big Ten. Ohio State had all year to be pissed off and sulk and prepare for this, and they couldn't do anything about it because Michigan imposed their will. They're the better team, and now they run the Big Ten. Michigan runs the Big Ten, not Ohio State.
If you would have come up to me and said, if Michigan wins this game, do they run the Big Ten? I would have pumped the brakes a little bit. Obviously, for the time being, yes, they're the champions. But I still think it takes a little more than 2 years to kind of flip that script. But the way they did it, the facet in how they went into their home, like you said, Ohio State has been stewing on that loss for 365 days. They've been thinking about how Michigan thumped them in the Big House all year. And what did they do? They came into the Horseshoe and took their lunch money, absolutely nut punched, proved they were the bigger, stronger team, proved they were the better coached team. It was an extremely impressive victory on all fronts, and yeah, that's all you got to say. Hats off to Michigan, man. They played, like I said, one of the most dominant second halves in football I've ever seen.
Hey, Michigan's second halves this year they're a second half team. They did it against Penn State, they did it against Michigan State, and now they do it at Ohio State, at the Horseshoe, a place they hadn't won in 22 years. This is the type of game that kind of exercises some demons. I know last year was sort of that as well, beating them for the first time in 10 years, beating Ohio State for the first time in 10 years, but then going to Columbus and beating Ohio State in the fashion that they did. There was no flukes, there was no weather, there was no sort of questionable call. It was a dominating performance, and you also saw an element of Michigan's offense that you hadn't seen all year. Now you have to fear the Michigan passing offense. You have to fear J.J. McCarthy and Cornelius Johnson, whose connection all of a sudden is lethal. Yeah. Ohio State dared J.J. McCarthy and the wide receivers to beat them, and they did just that. It was honestly, it was beautiful. And what Donovan Edwards also proved in this game is that, like Spencer said, I've said it all year. I've hyped up the Blake Corum Heisman train all year, but Donovan Edwards is the better back. He is the more explosive back. He's the more versatile back, and he closed that. J.J. McCarthy was the starter, and then Donovan Edwards closed it out, along with that defense only giving up 23 points. Dominating, beautiful performance.
And I've been with you on that too, Lockstep. You can attest to that Donovan Edwards is the better back. He's more well-rounded. I think he can do everything that Blake Corum does and provides an element that Blake Corum does not. And if Michigan fans really like, a legitimate Heisman case is going to be Donovan Edwards next year. Like, the guy is going to be doing what Blake Corum did this year, where he's going for 130, 140 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and then on top of that, add 7 catches for 80 yards. Like, the guy is a monster, and he is impressive. He's that 5-star back out of Detroit that they asked for, and he's exactly what they bargained for. It's impressive, man. I am a big Donovan Edwards guy, too, but I was happy to see them let JJ open it up a little bit.
It's crazy, too, because I feel like, and the only reason I mentioned a little bit earlier, and it's like way off, by the way, but I mentioned like this is almost like, can I ask, is this Michigan on a trajectory towards up, or is this Ohio State on a trajectory towards down?
I think it's a little bit of both.
I think so, too. And I don't want to take any credit away from Jim Harbaugh, especially, and I want to say this for like the last segment, but like the ugliness that went on during the offseason with this program in terms of like Jim Harbaugh flirting back and forth between bouncing to the NFL.
Not only that, they got a new offensive coordinator, they got a new defensive coordinator, and it looks like they haven't missed a heartbeat.
Exactly. And the split of the two, outside of Mike McDonald, obviously, because he had the relationship with his brother, but it was a little bit ugly, too. You know what I'm saying? Like the offensive coordinator, the former, I forgot his name, but it was a little bit of trash talking, I almost felt
Josh
like.
Gaddis.
Yeah. Like it was an ugly breakup, and then obviously the situation with Flair like going to the pros, for him to come back with like lesser like name value, I should say, and have these guys buy in.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real about it. Like, the schedule was a bit of a cupcake schedule, like leading into this game, but to be at the shoe and execute to the point that they did, like it was phenomenal performance by Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, 110%. No one, Sam, did you like? I know as a fan, you thought they'd win. You at least you wanted to win. You probably wouldn't be able to say they'd lose, but like, did you think it was going to be like that?
No, absolutely not. I thought it would be a close game. I thought they would have to dominate in the trenches from start to finish. But what actually happened is, at the beginning, at least in the first half and early second half, it was J.J. McCarthy making big plays. Like, he had 3 touchdown passes of over 45-plus yards. It's unbelievable. It showed me something about a Jim Harbaugh coach Michigan team that I didn't think was possible. I thought if Michigan were to win, they always had to kind of win in a phone booth. Sort of run the ball, stop the run, get pressure, not really open it up. But they did it in this game because they had to. You saw how bad their offense looked early on. They couldn't run the ball. JJ was missing some throws. But once he hit that one to Cornelius Johnson and Cornelius Johnson did the rest, it was just like they realized, I think the coaching staff and the players, that we can do this in a variety of different ways.
Yeah.
And they did. So, of course, I didn't expect it to be a 22-point bludgeoning, but it was. And I think even the biggest Michigan doubters, the biggest Ohio State fans have to look at Michigan and just be like, oh, my God, we've got a problem on our hands right now. This Michigan team is legit.
Yeah.
100%. One other point I want to make, I kept saying Friday, I kept pounding my table and saying it. Big-time players make big-time plays. Your 5-star recruit, J.J. McCarthy, went out there and did just that.
Yeah, in the biggest game of the season so far.
Absolutely. Pounding that meat. Where you get the best meat, ask me.
Of course it's the butchery. You see it on the shirt. You know the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is the butchery. All you have to do is call 248-682-2697. That's 248-682-COWS. Or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. And I always tell you guys, who do you trust with your meat? Trust the heavyweights and trust the butchery with your meat. So hit them up. Make sure you tap in at thebutcherysl.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It's very rewarding, but it comes with a great responsibility, like Spider-Man powers. If you sit on a local youth sports board, homeowners association, or volunteers coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are all protected. Call Swiss Insurance today. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morax. We got young Chris in the TV booth, JB Smooth 1 to 2s, and Flannel Sam, the legend killer, joining us from the Maz chair. How you feeling? The Woodward Sports Chat wants to know. You buzzing?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. It's just this is kind of my day to celebrate.
There you go.
Like,
yeah.
As a Michigan fan, this
Take
is.
your top off.
I don't know if anybody in the chat like wants to see that, but I guess if you request it, I'll consider it.
I mean, you've done it before on this show. I think
I have.
Yeah.
But you guys got to request it. I don't want to like unsolicitedly just like, you know, just
That's fair. That's fair. The people need to see it.
Yeah. Well, what other people want to see? The people need to see. I need to see the Ohio State win, by the way. Like I've been on the Jim Harbaugh is overrated. You and I actually went on him at one point at the Coliseum one night. Just kind of like, well, just because some of the comparisons being made to him were just like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, these are national champions. You know, this is. No offense, but like the Big Ten hasn't been. It's only produced one champion. It's been Ohio State, and then up until these past 2 years, Ohio State's been running the table with Michigan. This has been the reality of it, the situation. But he has a dub now. I'm assuming they're going to be ranked at least number 2. Some people are making arguments for 1, which do you think they have a case for 1?
No.
Now is that coming from like a bias standpoint, or like
No, it's just I don't think you can dethrone the defending national champion who has done nothing to sway that.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you think we should change his name from Jim Harbaugh to HIM Harbaugh?
I don't think so.
Just a little bit of a stretch.
I think he still needs to win a national championship before he's one of Michigan's. A Michigan him, yes, but for the national conversation, I think he needs to win a national championship to validate that he is definitely up there. You know, he's definitely one of the best coaches to have yet to win a national championship, no doubt. But I think to sit at the table of the Nick Sabans, of the even Kirby Smarts now, and even Dabo Sweeney's, I think you need to cash in a national championship.
Yeah, I'm 100% in agreement. 24-2 the past 2 years, though. Pretty damn impressive. The 2-0 against Ohio State. And that's what I was kind of getting to. Like the last segment is like that game specifically, Ohio State versus Michigan. Traditionally, it's always been that black and blue game. You know, the 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and that's the type of physicality that Michigan brought in that game. Which, in my opinion, I know that you said that's what you expected the game to be the entire time, and JJ is really the one who broke it out. But you still saw, you know, the run game from Donovan Edwards like there and after, and they're beautiful. Every single person. I mean, it's such a clean hole, and then he just did what Donovan Edwards can do, and being a great athlete, and took it to the crib. But Ohio State, I feel like, has lost that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They've become like the flashy, look at all these like dope receivers we have, spread it out. Like that's become like their identity the past couple of years. And I feel like in this game specifically, and Jim Harbaugh doubled down on that style because that's what he's known for, even back to the Stanford days. I mean, we even thought, you know, throughout the season, I remember Sam and even Maz a couple times just bitching about, hey, we have J.J. McCarthy now, the guy that we said can do everything, but you're not letting him do everything. We saw a little bit of that today, but I guess him, you know, maintaining that, doubling down on that, and then it coming through and it's showing out, punching Ohio State in the mouth. I mean, it's pretty cool to watch from afar. I'm always going to root for the underdog, and that was that situation.
He's the best coach in the Big Ten right now, for sure. You know, that's undoubtable.
Yeah.
And then has ran the gauntlet 2 years in a row. He's done what he's needed to do to win, and he severely outcoached Ryan Day. And, yeah, that's what he is. But, like I said, to sit at the big boy table, you need to cash one in. And he has a very good chance of doing that this year.
I know Lloyd Carr, in terms of just Michigan history, has the most Big Ten. 6 Big Ten titles, and the one Natty, if you really want to count that one.
I really want to count that one.
Well, that's when they split, right?
It was a half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sam, you're the legend killer. You went at Ben Wallace for not having an offensive game. You want to count half a national championship?
You're not going to count that undefeated season where they won the Rose Bowl?
They split a national championship.
So what? It was a vote. College football was different back then. That's a national championship. Come on, easy.
It's half of a national.
There's no way you're the same legend killer and you're trying to take credit for a half a national championship.
I'm not taking credit.
Who are you right now? Are you that drunk?
They were undefeated. They were undefeated. They won the Rose Bowl. They earned that championship.
Who had the other half of that national championship?
Nebraska.
And they play each other?
No, they didn't. It was different back then.
Yeah. It was weird.
It was weird.
That is whack.
Fugazi.
But you actually flirted with this topic last week, though. Is Jim Harbaugh officially now HIM Harbaugh? And what does this game mean to his legacy? You brought it up. Now that it's happened, where are you sitting with it?
He is HIM Harbaugh. Like, as a Michigan fan, let me just put this into perspective from the Michigan fans' perspective. So Jim Harbaugh did what all the great Michigan coaches of all time have done. He won in Columbus. Bo Schembechler won in Columbus. Gary Moeller won in Columbus. Lloyd Carr won in Columbus. Jim Harbaugh has finally won in Columbus in dominating fashion, and he has a very good chance, if they beat Purdue or when they beat Purdue, to go to another college football playoff and have his second consecutive Big Ten championship game. And trust me, I wasn't satisfied with Jim Harbaugh 2015 to 2020, but he got a second chance. He got the pay cut. He had to earn his status, and he absolutely has done that. In my opinion, already, Jim Harbaugh is one of the most legendary figures in the history of Michigan football. And let me
2 years.
No, let me
Well, his playing days.
Yes, as a player, you can argue he's the greatest quarterback in Michigan football history. He's the only quarterback who was drafted in the first round off of Michigan. And now he has righted a lot of his wrongs. He is now on a 2-game winning streak against Ohio State. And in the state of Michigan, he is clearly owning, the Michigan program is a lot higher up than Michigan State. Michigan is now a nationally relevant program. Do I think that they need to do something in the college football playoff instead of get smacked in the round of 4? Absolutely. And I think they will. It's just Jim Harbaugh, his comeback story has been amazing because, like I said, his first 6 years were not... He kind of stabilized the program after kind of a dark period. They're a consistent 10-win team.
Yeah, I don't know if a consistent 10-win team is a dark period you need stabilization from.
Well, but from
the Michigan perspective,
from 2008 to 2014, those were the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke years. Yeah. Those were the years. In those years, they had 3 losing seasons.
I think Rich Rod kind of got shafted.
But still, 2 of his 3 seasons were losing years. Yeah. You can argue that he didn't get enough time, but still, at Michigan, you can't have losing seasons.
Because he didn't have his guys, and you see what Brady Hoke did in his first year with Rich Rod players. Right?
Yeah, and that was his one good year, and obviously they went down from there. But yeah, Jim Harbaugh, to me, when you talk about nationally, he is the undisputed, in my opinion, 4th best coach in the nation. The best coach to not have a national championship. Yeah. It's Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, and then Jim Harbaugh. So to me, he is HIM Harbaugh. I am thrilled with what he has done for this program, and I think when it's all said and done, there will be a Jim Harbaugh statue on the Ann Arbor campus.
Where is he at in your Michigan coaches ranking? Take away his player days.
I would say right now he's still 3, but ascending.
3.
I think Lloyd Carr and Bo Schembechler are kind of 1A, 1B, and then Jim Harbaugh. But if he wins a natty this year,
2 years. That's.
But what if Jim Harbaugh wins a natty this year?
Yeah, that'd be impressive. It'd definitely push him up the ranks. It's just 2 years. I mean, yeah, it looks like he's building a juggernaut.
Yeah, but
it looks like he is building something that can be like what Alabama and what we've seen out of Georgia and Clemson, where it's just you replace the talent you lost, and you're still there off of these 2 years. You see, the most impressive thing outside of what Donovan Edwards did in the second half was that defense did that without their best player.
Yep.
Mike Morris played, I don't even know if he played at all in that game. he was sure on the sidelines chirping it up. I love to see that because I like me some Mike Morris too. I've said it multiple times. I want the Lions to draft Mike Morris, but
I like McGregor too.
They did that without him. They went out there and dominated without him. So Jim has, or Coach Harbaugh, has instilled a culture that
Harbaugh
is something you can just bring in more talent and replace the ones you missed with. I was the first one to say, I was like, I thought Ohio State was going to win because I didn't think the defense was as good as it was last year. As much as people, it might be better, it could be better. I was like, you lose David Ajabo, you lose Aiden Hutchinson, you lose Daxton Hill. Those are your 3 best players on defense by far. You lost all 3 of them. They're all first-round picks. I didn't think they were the Georgias or the Alabamas that can just reload after losing that much of their defense, and that's exactly what they did.
Too.
That's exactly what they did.
It's crazy. Like it's this year, especially more than because I was almost like, and I'm not a Michigan fan, and at one point I was like a state of Michigan fan, or how the hell they were saying it, because I would root for Michigan outside of like the Michigan State game. It's why not? I've always been that my entire life. When it come down to picking Michigan State as a kid, it's because I had the mascot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it was for me. I have no allegiance. I didn't go to either school. I partied a lot at Michigan State. That's about it. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
But no, man. For like, I was just kind of grossed out with like what happened in the offseason. And I was like, there's just no way this guy recovers from that. I feel like he disrespected a program that's like kind of high and tidy like already, like with the nose in the air, kind of like
super snooty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they are. Like I'm not like taking shots. It's like what Michigan is. I mean, we know guys that went there and have that same opinion.
3 of my siblings went there, and they're all pretentious assholes. I love you guys.
Damn.
But for him to like somewhat kind of like slapped him in the face with like, oh, I'm going to like, I'm going to go coach the Vikings and not give you for sure answer, and everything else is still in limbo. And like after the year that they had, it's been damn impressive to see what he did this past Saturday.
It has, and you know why? It's probably because Jim Harbaugh got his lift in. And where can you get your lift in? And that's Planet Fitness, obviously the studio sponsor of Woodward Sports Network. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes on the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta,
Uptime
matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a big project coming up? Alta has you covered. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment, where
uptime
matters. What up, though? Welcome back to the World of Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
We've got young Chris in the T-booth, JB Smooth the 1-2s, and my guy Flannel Sam, who's officially cut himself off. I tried to give him another shot during the break. He told me no, so he wants to go home. That's to me.
You're trying to peer pressure him.
just means he's not a Michigan fan. I think he's a big Ohio State guy. He's wearing red today on Victory Monday. It's kind of weird.
Scarlet
I'm just saying.
Actually.
If you wanted to prove it to us, Sam, and we got this whole thing here.
Stop peer pressuring.
I'm not peer pressure. I just wanted to prove his
literally the definition.
That is the definition.
I just wanted to prove he's a Michigan fan.
He said no 4 times, and now you're blackmailing him.
I'm just saying. Are you a Michigan fan or not? JB Smooth, you are a college football guy. You've been quiet today.
Yeah, what's up?
What was your takeaway from the game Saturday?
It was a good game. I got to give my hats off to Michigan. Respect. I mean, they went in there, they took care of business, especially in that second half, because the first half, it was a little chippy. It was going back and forth between them and Ohio State, so I was kind of like on the fence about it. But that second half, that was a different Michigan team out there. Just different.
Yeah, it surely was. Surely was. And that showing in the second half bodes the question is, and I'll go to you first, Sam, because you're the Michigan man of the room. Can Michigan win a national title this year? Is it realistic for Michigan to win a national championship this year?
Of course they can.
Not when they lose to Purdue.
If they lose to Purdue, I will have the exact opposite demeanor the day after.
I'm going to ask you a question about that later.
All right, cool. Yeah, all right. But anywho, they're not going to lose to Purdue. So if you make the dance, I know this seems kind of like a cop-out, you have a chance. And I believe that Michigan right now is the clear, besides for Georgia, the best team in the country. I think they have they would be favored against TCU, they'd be favored against USC, they'd be favored against Ohio State if they were to make it. Hell, I think they'd be favored against Alabama. So, yes, they absolutely can win the national championship. They obviously have a dominant run game, dominant offensive line, dominant defense, which showed against one of the best offenses in the country that they can render them less effective than usual by allowing...
Useless.
I mean, I don't know about useless.
3 points in the second half.
3 points. Oh, that second half, that absolutely was. But 23 points to Ohio State. They showed that. And they also showed that when asked to throw the football and make plays and open up the offense a little bit, they can. That was one of the biggest question marks coming in. And also, like, even if you don't have Blake Corum, as long as you have either Blake Corum or Donovan Edwards, either of them can kill you on the ground. This Georgia team, they're not the Georgia juggernaut that they were last year. When you lose all those players on defense, it's going to hurt. I know Georgia kind of reloads. They got Kelly Ringo and Jalen Carter, but still, the one team that I fear to some extent is Georgia, but Michigan should feel like, as going into the college football playoff undefeated, as the 2 seed, that they can win the national championship, and I think that should be their expectation. Just imagine what that would do for the legacies of all Michigan players involved and coaching staff involved if they won a national championship. And I would say they're the second favorites to do it.
Yeah.
So go beat a Georgia. Go win in the first round, obviously. Like you can't take that for granted. But go beat a team like Georgia that lost a lot of defensive players, that hasn't looked as dominant as they were last year, who has, in my opinion, a very mid quarterback and a mid running game. Why not? Why not Michigan this year?
Why not us?
Why not us? But it's not just why not us. This is a damn good football team.
It is.
A dominant football team that just dominated Ohio State at Columbus, dominated their entire schedule, the Illinois game notwithstanding. Michigan absolutely can win the national championship.
I'm undefeated.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's.
You think so too?
I do. I really do.
Wow.
You look at what they did without arguably their best defensive player and their best offensive player all year, and they put on a clinic. If they play like they did against Ohio State, they can beat anybody. And
wow,
it's impressive. That was one of the most dominating second halves of football I've ever seen in my life. And like I said, they did it without their best defender and without their best offensive player all year. So that is impressive to me. And obviously Georgia, the SEC, those are different beasts. And it will tough to get that same kind of emotion, that same kind of riled up that you are compared to going into Ohio State and playing in the horseshoe. That is a different level of emotion that gets brought out of players is in situations like that. But if Michigan plays like they did in the second half, they can beat anybody in the country.
Damn. I'm shocked to hear that from you specifically.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was shocked to see it.
I'm really, especially after like last year, and I get it, right? Like Georgia's not the juggernaut that they were last year, but like they got creamed. Yeah, cream, and deservedly so. Again, Georgia was a dog-ass team, but
that was one of the best defenses in like the history of college football.
But it was just such a night and day difference on both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like the SEC is just a different dog. It's a different breed of animal. Like it just truly is. And then on top of that, too, like they're battle tested as well. You know what I'm saying? Georgia's gone through and beat some juggernauts themselves throughout the season. So like it's. I want to give Michigan that due credit, but I just can't after like witnessing what I saw last year and just knowing Jim Harbaugh's record against the SEC in general. It's just the SEC is the SEC for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the cream of the crop. And I mean, I hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Everything on paper makes sense. I mean, just as it did heading into that game against Georgia last year. I thought Michigan was going to beat Georgia last year. I'm like, look at these dogs I got. Aiden Hutchinson. I was in your seat saying that with Nick Leach. I was dead ass wrong.
Yeah,
dead ass wrong. I could have been more wrong. Zach Shaw, shout out to him too. I think I'll get him on later on at the point this week because he told me, he was like, you don't understand. Like Georgia's is like their backup tight ends are like Michigan's tackles. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, like that's convincing. But I still think Michigan's gonna win. And obviously, they didn't like going that way. And I'm excited to get Zach's opinion on the matter because he's a big. He writes for CBS and he writes for 24/7 Sports as well for Michigan specifically. So I mean, Sam, obviously you are too. Zach is like. Super nerd when it comes down to like the backups and stuff like that, the recruits and where they're coming from. So I have to see it, man. I hate to pull the Stephen A. I'm like, I gotta see it, but I have to.
No, you got to see it to believe it for sure. Especially coming off of this was a dominant performance from them last year against Ohio State, where they went in and dominated Ohio State in the big house, and then got schwacked by Georgia. So you do need to see it. I agree with that, but I don't know, something about that second half felt different, man. They had guys stepping up that weren't the biggest players. Like Blake Corum was their best offensive player all year, didn't play. Mike Morris was their best defensive player all year, didn't play. And they went out there and completely dominated. And that is something, if you would have told me last season that Michigan was without Hassan Haskins and Aiden Hutchinson for the Ohio State game, I would have said there's no way they win that.
Well, that's the thing. You made a great point earlier that they won that game at Ohio State, curb stomped them pretty much without Blake Corum. He had 2 carries, and Mike Morris really was a non-factor, didn't play for most of the game. And that kind of showed me, too, that, Donovan Edwards is the better back, and as long as he's there, they'll be fine. And also, what about that Michigan secondary?
Yeah.
I think that's elite unit now, and that's something that I don't think we could say last year.
That's
because
fair.
Michigan did not get a ton of pressure on C.J. Stroud. A lot of times C.J. Stroud had all day to throw, but it was up to that Michigan secondary to at least hold guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Ibuka to not just like wreck them.
Yeah.
Guys like Jamon Green and DJ Turner and Mike Sandra still with one of the plays of the game. Will Johnson, the up-and-coming 5-star, who I think will be a Jim Thorpe Award candidate one day. This is a team that if you can bring back Mike Morris and Blake Corum to that, Mike Morris is the guy that has provided the most pressure for that Michigan defense. He's the sack master of the defense.
Big sacks.
Yes. And Blake Corum was the Heisman Trophy candidate running back, at least coming into this game. I would say he's out of that race now, but still.
That's a fair estimate.
Yes. They won at Ohio State, curb stomped them by 22 points without your Heisman Trophy candidate running back and your number 1 defensive player. What was the reason they beat Ohio State a year ago? The running game and the pressure on C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud was running for his life.
They didn't put C.J. Stroud all day to throw, it was that secondary who wouldn't let Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Ibuka, Julian Fleming get wide open. So this is a team that wasn't even at full strength. So imagine them if they can get to full strength. They can beat you in a variety of ways, which is not something you can say about the team last year.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a great point to make of the secondary. They've played phenomenal because if you just watch the highlights, C.J. Stroud had all day.
All day. He was standing back there untouched.
And for them to still be able to make plays on Marvin Harrison Jr., on, how do you say his name?
Emeka
Ibuka.
Emeka Ibuka?
Reputa the Buta.
Reputa the Buta?
Yeah.
But still, honestly, phenomenal job of that secondary. And I feel like now, too, although that Aiden was a stud, obviously Ojabo was a stud at their specific positions, I feel like this defense is more like balanced out. You know what I'm saying? Like at each level, if that makes sense. I mean, but the secondary, honestly, I think, that's one thing everybody's been missing today is giving them praise. Honestly, kudos to Jim Harbaugh and those boys.
Yeah, he went out there and he made the adjustments at halftime. You talk about them being a halftime team all year, but making those adjustments in that game at halftime to completely shut down that Ohio State team, to go from...
I mean, it's a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, arguably, I think, the best receiver in the nation. And they shut him down. And they only scored 3 points in the second half, and Michigan went out there and dominated. It's hats off to them, man. It was impressive.
I guess, yeah, I'm like reiterating that situation in my head like this, because with C.J. Stroud put up 300 against them last year, too.
He put up 300 against them this year.
Man. And
350 and 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
And I apologize if I didn't mention it earlier in the show. Cade McNamara has officially entered the transfer portal. He'll be leaving Michigan. But I was also looking at his numbers versus Ohio State versus JJ's. This is night and day.
Oh, yeah.
159 yards total, 1 interception, no touchdowns for McNamara.
Yeah, it was Hassan Haskins. Hassan Haskins had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. It was night and day. JJ's... I'm excited to see year 2 of JJ.
I mean, yeah. If we see anything out of him until the last game.
Yeah. Am I like looking too far ahead in that one?
No, not at all. It's, after you see the performance he had in that game, you're like, yeah, I want to see more of him. But if Jim Harbaugh opens him up, he shouldn't. He won't, and I don't think you should. Why would you do that? You can do the same thing you did this year. Win 11 games, running the ball 40 times.
Yeah. McNamara ends up at MSU. Would you be happy?
No, we're not. That's not happening.
I got Jeff Hall in the Woodward Sports Chat says McNamara's going to Iowa.
I can see Iowa.
I can see it.
I can see Wisconsin.
I can see Wisconsin too.
I can see Purdue.
Luke Fickell going to become the new head coach of Wisconsin.
Like I said it on BD, there's like 4 or 5 6-year senior quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Like Penn State has one. Iowa has one, I'm pretty sure. Minnesota has one. Yeah, he's going to go to one of those teams.
All right, guys.
Minnesota.
What?
I can see Minnesota for sure.
If I were Cade McNamara, I'd go to Purdue, because at least they have kind of an open passing offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie Jones, he's had a damn good year. Their wide receiver. They opened it up a little bit over there. If you're Cade McNamara, go to Purdue.
Well, if you're any human, you like wearing clothes. I was just checking out the Woodward Sports store.
I'm not a human.
Because Cyber Monday is here. Right now you can save 10% on the entire store. It's site-wide. All you have to do is use the promo code WSNCyber. WSNCyber. It gives you 10% off the entire store site-wide. Check it out, guys. We have all your sports covered from Detroit and Christmas sweaters now, too. Take advantage of our Cyber Monday deal. 10% off using WSN Cyber at WoodwardSports.com. It's Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Right, girl. Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the lodge before or after games. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with DeckedOutDetroit.com. .com. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin More Ranks.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TV booth, JB's from the ones and twos, and a drunken cocaine Sam in the mass chair today.
Cocaine bear.
You said you had a question for Sam during the break, Swing. I'm kind of curious to hear that too.
I did. I want to ask this.
Does this make me look fat?
Do you like this shirt? Are my nipples poking through? No. From a Michigan fan's perspective, this isn't something that I think is going to happen, but if Michigan loses to Purdue in the Big Ten Championship, what does that mean for not only everything you said about Jim Harbaugh and his legacy, but for this season?
Oh, my God. Like, you're talking about something that has like a 0.5% chance of happening.
Any given Saturday, man.
No, that is true. God. It would make... It would make Michigan kind of a punchline. I mean, not that they kind of were a punchline at some point. They would make Michigan a punchline. People would say they go to Ohio State and win and finally have the chance to have their best season maybe ever, and then they blow it, losing to freaking Purdue. That it would render the whole season pretty much a failure. Honestly.
Really? Even if you still get, because they'd still get into the playoff.
You think so?
Yes.
No. Now the loss to Purdue.
Yes, they would. 110%.
Yeah, maybe.
A 12-1 Michigan that beat Ohio State, like they would still get into the playoff.
Purdue, they don't deserve to be in it.
Yeah, they do.
I don't even think Ohio State.
Who would you put over them? Ohio State?
No.
Alabama? No. Tennessee?
Alabama over them?
No.
Yeah.
2-loss Alabama?
Yeah.
No, that's. Spencer, you brought up a good point, and that's the thing. I can like think about things that people say and maybe change my perspective. That, yeah, I don't know if it would be a failure. It would just be one of those losses where people could say, I knew it. Michigan's when they had a chance to really like show the world.
I wouldn't let you live it down. That's for sure.
You wouldn't let me live it. Oh God, Neil.
Not a chance.
Neil Rule would
Neil
spend
would
the
be.
rest of
that would be.
How was that today? By the way,
it was good. He was fine.
Yeah,
he was fine. I thought he was fine.
No back.
He made a couple little comments, but he gave props.
I thought he was fine for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean,
what did you talk your shit, Sam? Like, did you get to?
I mean, the weird thing is, like, I got to talk a little bit, but I didn't really have to. It was sort of like
D-Mac was doing the fight.
Right.
D-Mac was fighting for Michigan.
Yeah?
Yeah. Big time.
Neil has been a bully. He's been Neil.
I mean, honestly, if anybody was kind of, like, wilding out on the show, it was Terry Foster. Because Terry Foster, if a lot of things is not idealistic. He's an old head who's been around for many, many years, and he was the one kind of saying, like, pump the brakes.
Terry was going crazy.
Terry was going.
It was awesome.
Insane. But at the same time,
What happened with Terry?
Terry was screaming at D-Mac.
About Michigan? Hating on Michigan?
Yeah.
What was he saying?
He was saying it wasn't a program-changing victory.
It was a program. There was 2 recruits who visited Ohio State that are now
3 now.
3. Now going to Michigan, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not
3
mistaken.
Ohio recruits that were at the game.
That's huge. Yeah. Because that's one thing I read, and I don't know if Flannel Sam actually wrote an article. So shout out Flannel Sam. Make sure you guys check that out. But he sorry, there's some stuff going on here. I think we got free food. I might just hop off air right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, but Flannel Sam, I don't know. Again, I don't remember if it's your article, but make sure you guys check that out on WoodwardSports.com. But you can't out recruit Ohio State. So Jim Harbaugh out physical them. You know what I'm saying? They posed like their will.
Sure.
And it worked. And now you add the recruiting to that. That's a dangerous. You might be everything you thought you were beforehand. I'm talking like the Michigan program.
Yeah.
It's terrifying for us too.
It is. Terry's whole thing was that Michigan is back to what they used to be. They're not anything. This isn't the height of the program. Like this is what Michigan was. That's what Terry was saying.
It's the height of the program in our lifetime, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Flynn Sammy, you've been following them your entire life. I've never. This is the best I've seen them. Obviously, you have the split.
100%. I mean, it sucks to say, but Michigan has sort of been in my lifetime that perpetual sort of like 9 and 10 win team that playing Ohio State was like going to your funeral. So to me, it is right.
Yeah.
It is a program-changing win. This is a paradigm-shifting win because not only did they beat them last year at home, but they did it at Columbus, a place they hadn't won since 2000. So to kind of parlay that with the fact that Jim Harbaugh has, at the very least in the beginning, stabilized this back to where they were, like a 9-10 win team. Now they're the class of the Big Ten. They beat Ohio State at home and then at Ohio State in dominating fashion. To me, this is the best Michigan I've ever personally watched, and it also is... This could end up being, and a lot remains to be seen, the greatest Michigan team in school history if they go on and win the national championship. So to me, it absolutely is a program-changing win. I think Terry Foster just has a different perspective, which I can't blame him for, but I also think he's a little jaded by all the sports around here that he's seen over the years.
Yeah, for sure. It's Terry being an old head is what it was.
Yeah.
You kids can't remember Michigan from my day. That's basically what it was. And D-Neck was like, so what? Let him enjoy it. And they went back and forth for a while.
That's awesome.
It was pretty fun. It's on.
I gotta run it back.
Yeah, it's on the read. It's on the read. Dude, shout out Mike G. What a boss. Ordered us some conies. Sent it to the studio. Mike G, I knew you were my favorite commenter. Sorry, I King. But Mike G, I knew it was you.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Is that what just happened?
That's boss.
That is boss.
Mike G with an X.
That means you can get more drunk now, Sam.
Yeah. You got conies to...
Yeah,
that's probably what he was thinking about.
That is probably what it was.
Wow, shout out Mike G.
Shout out
Damn,
Mike G.
Mike G turned me into a Michigan fan.
Here, you guys keep talking. I'm going to go...
No.
No, I'm going to bring some for all of us so we got to eat it on air for
Enjoy this butchery video for 5 minutes.
I mean, I'd be careful. Mike G might be messing with us. Shout out to him if not.
Spencer, what do you think?
Yeah, to Spencer now.
Interesting.
Interesting, very interesting. I had this as its own topic, and maybe I can start to introduce it now if you want. But CJ Stroud stuff, we kind of teased it earlier in the show, and maybe I should wait for spinning on this one. We'll bleed this into the next topic. But obviously, he was like 1 or 2, 1A, 1B for some people. I'm a Bryce Young guy personally, but seeing now the Rams have fallen.
Oh man, you want me to throw it out there? Because
Yeah,
it looks
go ahead.
pretty.
This is crazy.
It looks pretty.
This looks beautiful. The Detroit Lions are in possession currently of the number 3 pick in the NFL draft, courtesy of the Los Angeles Rams.
And not that far from 2.
Not that far from 2, so he can be in there. But also given...
And the Coney Fairy. I brought the Yum Yums. Just take one. Roll one for everybody.
CJ Stroud, Flannel Sam. Is he a Detroit Lion? Did that lower his stock a little bit?
I mean, the thing about CJ Stroud is that he's, despite losing to Ohio State both of his years as a starter, I think for the most part in both games he played pretty well. Last year, there was not a whole lot he could do against the onslaught of Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo. And then this year, in the first half, I think he was good, although he had 2 untimely turnovers in the second half. I wouldn't hate C.J. Stroud here, especially if the Lions get a top 3 pick, but I will say what that game did to me. If it goes down between C.J. Stroud and like a guy like Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, I might go defense instead of C.J. Stroud, because when the lights were the brightest, C.J. Stroud made some mistakes. He missed some throws. So, to me, if there was a choice between a dominant defensive player and C.J. Stroud, I might now go dominant defensive player instead.
And it's not like he didn't have weapons either. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had
So
the
many
weapons to have in all of college football, in my opinion.
Yep.
Outside of Pickens.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, like...
Dude, Mike G, you're the man. Shout out Mike G. Anytime you want to come to the studio, come on in, bro. It's awesome. You want to come to the heart of a heavyweight, you go through Coney Island. That was the first Coney I've had in a minute, honestly.
Tell us about SMA.
It was good stuff. SMA, or the sports marketing agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve.
Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you could play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. And you can bring in any type of food you want. So if you want to bring in some conies that Mike G bought for you, go ahead and do it. Make sure you check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Dude, Mike G, you're a pimp.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Total pimp move.
That's seriously the coolest thing ever. Shout out to Mike G again, once more. While you were gathering the food, Smitty, we were talking about CJ Stroud and the draft stock following the game. Because obviously a lot of us in this room would like to usher out Jared Goff sooner than later. Where's CJ Stroud holding your...
I don't want him.
No?
I don't want him. No, he got rattled under pressure. He wasn't making reads. He's got a good arm. He's got a lot of arm talent, but... it's not tough enough. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be like crying if they picked him, but it's tough, man. That's a bad look.
It is bad.
It's a bad look, and the way it happened, like I said, the man gets rattled under pressure. Anytime he has someone in his face, he doesn't know what to do with himself, and that's going to happen a lot in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's like I said too, like it's not like he didn't have weapons, but at the same time, Sam, you and I are watching the highlights in the back. There's still a lot of beautiful throws.
Oh, yeah. I mean, C.J. Stroud, like I said, last year, C.J. Stroud wasn't the reason that Ohio State lost. It was the fact that Michigan controlled the clock and ran the football, and they got a ton of pressure on C.J. Stroud, which no quarterback could have succeeded under in certain moments. Then this year, C.J. Stroud still made some good throws. He made that beautiful touchdown throw to Marvin Harrison, another one on the sideline to Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got the talent. It's just the fact that in certain moments he didn't come through. I mean, I understand one of those moments was basically a great play by Mike Sanderstill on Cade Stover in the end zone. That was an amazing throw. But like I was saying earlier, if I'm the Detroit Lions and C.J. Stroud is there, but also Will Anderson and Jalen Carter is there, I might instead go to a defensive superstar instead. Whereas if C.J. Stroud would have lit up Michigan, I might have been like, that's the game that solidifies his spot as like a guy that I want on the Lions. So it's sort of a lot of conflicting feelings for me because I like C.J. Stroud, I like his talent, but he didn't exactly come through when the lights were the brightest in the second half of that game on Saturday.
It's the opposite of everything I loved about Bryce Young. Because when the lights are on, Bryce Young steps up for his squad.
And he can move around. C.J. Stroud didn't show any mobility in that game. Like getting out of the pocket, making some rushes. The one he did, he threw a stupid interception. I'm with Sam. I'm taking Jalen Carter over C.J. Stroud if he's there.
What up, though, Chris? You had your hand up?
Yeah, it's just from what I'm seeing, I don't call me selfish or maybe just like too naive, but if I don't see you as like a Mahomes, as a Josh Allen, somebody of that nature, or can at least project to be that, I'm cool with taking a quarterback in the second round or the third round. One of those guys. I'm not worried about that. Give me Will Anderson, man. We got to get the number 2 spot because that's where he's projected to go right now. I need that number 2 spot.
Dude. Will Anderson would be great. I don't think you can, project a player to be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I don't think you can see a college player and see them perform and be like, all right, he's the next
I know that's unfair.
Josh Allen, but
knowing how good Will Anderson is,
But if you
I
can't
just
see it,
really
then
want
fuck,
him.
F it. That's what you say. I'm trying to swear. I apologize.
Yeah.
2 comments. Stroud, first and foremost, to Booner Sports. He says Aaron Donald may also be out for a couple while with the ankle sprain, I think it was. I lost a comment in the Woodward Sports chat.
Jeez.
They packing it in. They are tanking all the way, man.
Just
It's
saying.
over for the Rams.
And it's crazy, too, because they're not taking for themselves. It's for us. They're taking for us.
You think Stafford, after shooting that Detroit commercial for AT&T, he's like, hey, listen. He's like, I got y'all. Wink,
and
wink.
it's just happening naturally.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like, we're done, we're going to hang it up. Like, people are getting injured and they just suck.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Sean McVay concussion protocol. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
You got whacked. If we had Rice NFL footage, I'd show you guys. But that was maybe find that one on Twitter. But,
Right on the jaw.
I mean, talk about what could be such a great trade for both teams, because the Rams, say all you want about this year, they cashed it in with the Super Bowl. They went all in for 1 year, and they got it done. But if the Rams pick that the Detroit Lions now have is a top 3 or even top 2 pick, oh my goodness. I mean, talk about a generational talent that the Lions could get. And they didn't even have to take themselves. They can have the best of both worlds. They can kind of create that winning culture and show improvement, but also get a top pick. It's unbelievable how advantageous this trade is looking for both teams.
Brad Holmes is a wizard.
Yes.
You're a
He's
wizard,
a wizard.
Holmes.
Yep.
You're a wizard, Holmes.
What's the owner?
You're a wizard, Holmes.
You're a wizard,
Hey,
Holmes.
you're a wizard, Holmes.
What's Steve
Bato.
Kroenke, right? Is the owner of the Rams?
Harry Bato and the Goblet of
Stan
Cerveza.
Kroenke.
Stan Kroenke. Maybe he gets like a tax break because like counts like a donation to Detroit and we're like a poverty city franchise. There's another
Take how
comment
you
though
get
too. Yeah, honestly, another comment from DNC. Oh man, I lost the comment already. I apologize. I want to give you your due credit, but he said that this morning that Anna proposed the idea of possibly, if we land the number 3 pick, trading back with a Seattle or Carolina, so that they can then get their quarterback, and then maybe we're back in the sweepstakes for Caleb Williams, which I am willing to wait for. I'll go Sam first. You're chewing.
But like Caleb, here's the thing, and
Caleb's
I know
gonna be the number 1 pick.
like that's the thing. Is there any possible scenario in which Caleb Williams can go to the Detroit Lions in 2024? Like, I know that there's trades that can be done and all this, that, and whatever, but Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick. As Lions fans, I think we expect them to be flirting with the playoffs next year. So it would take some sort of Brad Holmes wizardry, which we have seen he can create, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, counting on Caleb Williams, I'm not holding my breath. But trading back that number 3 pick, if you don't like anybody, if you're not super sure about anybody, see what you can get for that. I don't hate it.
I like that a lot. Honestly, I talked about that on BDE too, is if CJ Stroud is there and we had the number 3 pick, I'd trade back. Give me another first rounder. Depends on how far the Lions have to move back, but if they can still get an elite defensive lineman, I'm doing it 10 times out of 10.
Because the other thing too, though, with I'm thinking, I guess, with the Panthers specifically, because if they could trade with Seattle, I mean, they're borderline playoff team right now. So I don't think that pick is going to be high enough to grab Caleb Williams. But the Panthers, with the owner who's like in a rush to win, one of the reasons why Matt Rule was out so quickly, maybe they land a number 1 pick and we grab Caleb Williams from there. I don't know. I guess it is a fun little thought exercise, but I think I can see it with the Panthers maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
it could definitely happen, but you're going to need literally 1-1 if you want to get Caleb Williams next year.
The one, yeah.
1-1.
Because no one's trading that.
No one's trading
He's doing Mahomes stuff like right now.
Yeah.
Like outside the pocket, this kid's been phenomenal. On top of him just already being a phenomenal inside the pocket passer beforehand. And this is what? He still has a whole other year to go next year of football.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Caleb Williams. When you look at number 1 picks in the NFL draft who are can't miss, you look at guys like Trevor Lawrence or like Andrew Luck. And Caleb Williams, to me, is one of the best quarterback prospects in a while. Like one of those guys that if he's number 1, you're taking him no matter what. There's no trading back. There's no like picking a defensive player or any other position if you have a need, you're going after Caleb Williams because he is that damn good. And hell, he might be coming off of back-to-back Heisman winners at this point. He's a stud.
JB Smooth.
What's up?
You want to stay put at number 3, or you want to roll dice for Caleb Williams?
That's tough, man. We really need some good defensive players. I wouldn't mind, trading that third, the third spot right there, going back a little bit, but not too far. But I'm definitely going to need something else in return for that third, especially because I don't believe in C.J. Stroud, man. I honestly think the dude is a bust, in all honesty. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. It's another Ohio State quarterback out there that's just kind of, yeah. Justin Fields was an enigma of all that. So
I don't think he's going to be a bust, per se.
I think he's going to be a bust, man.
Really? Like, not good at all? Just
nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, JB.
Sam Flannel, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't think C.J. Stroud is going to be a bust, but I mean, he's not a sure thing. Like, especially for the Lions, if you have so many needs to fill on your roster, I don't know if C.J. Stroud is the guy that's going to be your franchise quarterback. I thought he was throughout most of the year, but there is some cause to pause with sort of his performance down the stretch in the game against Michigan. I don't know. Caleb Williams is obviously a better prospect than C.J. Stroud, but is there any pathway in a million years to getting him in 2024? That's what I'm wondering. I don't think so either.
Yeah, so Panthers one is only one, I think. Because who else would be willing to move up this year, you think, to give next year's first round? This only team.
Yeah, not a lot of teams.
I don't know. I decipher through. You saw a mock draft just before the show that had Anthony Richardson in the first round.
Oh,
do you know what pick it was?
It was like 24. No.
Would you rather have C.J. Stroud with their first round pick or Anthony Richardson with their second?
God. I'd rather have C.J. Stroud. I think that little of Anthony Richardson as a thrower of the football. Like, he just hasn't shown me anything. His completion percentage in college is in the 50s. He's had Anthony Richardson is one of those guys. You hear about him all the time. You hear that he's dynamic, but he doesn't show us. At least C.J. Stroud, I have confidence that he is a very, very good thrower of the football. And as a quarterback, that's kind of...
It's pretty important.
It's pretty important.
Yeah. I'd say you kind of need that.
Anthony Richardson, to me, his absolute ceiling. I mean, his ceiling among ceilings is a guy like Taysom Hill, like a gadget player.
Wow.
He's athletic as hell, but he can't throw the football. It's going in the lineage of Florida quarterbacks. Tim Tebow couldn't throw the football. Anthony Richardson can't throw the football.
Hey, Tim
Disrespect.
Tebow. Yeah,
wow.
Tim Tebow is like the greatest college player of all time.
I wouldn't go that far, but he was a damn good college player.
He's
But
up there.
In the NFL, he couldn't throw the football.
Yeah, that is fair. But he won a playoff game.
Who is the greatest, Sam?
The greatest college football player ever? I would say for 1 year, Cam Newton of all time. I think you could go even Barry Sanders for what he did at Oklahoma State. The greatest rushing season by a college football player ever.
Cam Newton had the best season
Yes.
I've ever seen. He
100%.
was insane. But I think, dude, Tim Tebow, what he did in his career.
Yep.
Didn't he have 2 national championships?
Yeah, one of them, Chris Leak, was the starter, but Tim Tebow was sort of like the gadget player.
Yeah.
He won a Heisman as well. So yeah, no, he was great in college.
Very impressive. Very
In
impressive
college.
stuff. But if you want to get it looking fresh like Sam is today, all you got to do is go to Lady Jane's, because you can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you are a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. Michael Phillips, game on.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights. This is the most heavyweight episode we've had.
Excuse me, yeah.
We're like literally eating coney dogs during the show.
Smashing coney dogs during the show. Dude, Mike G's goated.
Shout out to Mike G. That was awesome, man. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Yo, Kristen, TD Booth, JB Smooth, the 1s and 2s. Flannel Sam joining us while inebriated from the Maz
Why'd
chair.
you say it like that?
Flannel Sam.
Flannel Sam.
That's how I used to say my name growing up. Daddy. Big Daddy. That's fat. Shout out to everybody on. Never mind, I'm not gonna do all that. So no to CJ Stroud. It sounds like for the consensus around the room, which I've been Bryce Young since the beginning too. Like for all the reasons I told you before. Like when the lights are on,
he's 5'7".
Yeah, like I'm saying, like short kings gotta stick together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if not him. I obviously heard Flannel Sam say Jalen Carter, which I'm going to tell you right now, it's the train that I'm hopping on as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I always just bring back the 2013, 2014 defense of the Detroit Lions, and the core of it was the defensive line, in particular, specifically, the interior. You look at the championship team that Brad Holmes helped build in L.A. before coming here to Detroit. The core of that team was the interior defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Why not go to it again with Jalen Carter?
I agree. I'd go Jalen Carter. I think the guy's a stud. He's a monster in the middle. You could put him next to Lee McNeil, and you'll have a serious tandem to deal with to help stop the run and to get pressure on the quarterback. So I think that guy's can't miss. He's blue chip. He's somebody that will be playing in the NFL for a long time.
100%.
What's up,
Are you
Chris?
guys out on Will Anderson? Yes, I did raise my hand. Are you guys out on Will Anderson? Because I really just still want Will Anderson if we can luck out and get him.
I don't think he's going to be there. Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't think the Rams pick will get down to 2, and I don't think he's going to be there at 3.
I'm going to Tankathon real quick because who is 1
I mean, right now,
Panthers?
the Bears and the Chargers, the Rams both have 3 wins, but the Bears have 1 more loss at 3-9, and with no Aaron Donald, no Matthew Stafford, no.
The Lions should
it looks tough.
Tank their game against the Bears, so the Rams fall to number 2.
They should.
That's like.
If we're not making the playoffs.
Big brain stuff.
Yeah.
If the Lions aren't in the playoff contenders,
give them the
win. Like, kneel the ball every possession.
That's Brad Holmes thinking right there.
Yeah, honestly.
4D chess.
Yeah, I would do that. If I was Brad Holmes and I saw that we were, out of the playoff race,
yeah,
I'm telling the Bears, you guys win. Just don't even show up. It's fine.
Justin Fields runs for 400 yards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're playing two-hand touch out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just make them know that you could have tackled him if you wanted to, but then pull off.
Chase Lucas, you want to play quarterback?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That would be crazy.
Oh, that's too good to be true.
Yeah, it's honestly like Brad Holmes has the stars aligning, like Mercury's in retrograde, and the Lions are gonna get 7 wins and a top 2 pick.
That's nasty.
That would be insane.
Because Lee McNeil's coming to his own these past couple of weeks too.
Yes.
Like I know he had the big game against New York, but he come right back against the Bills and have another big game. Went out for a couple snaps with the injury, but still like. That's like what I wanted out of him.
Yeah.
And you and I said it before the season even started. You don't even look at Mozzie Smith. That's one of my favorite guys in Michigan right now. I think he's going to play on Sundays. But you look at his stat lineup, there's nothing there. I mean, there's not a lot there. What he does is cause the ruckus and let the other guys eat.
And that's why I ask about the Will Anderson thing is because the defense has progressed, particularly the pressure on the quarterback. The Lions have gotten a lot better at pressuring the quarterback in the last couple weeks. So I was wondering if that kind of sours your taste on Will Anderson at all.
Chris, if we're being honest, if Will Anderson is there, I don't care what quarterback is there at this point, and I've changed my tune on this over the weeks. The Lions should run to the podium and get Will Anderson. The only question about Will Anderson is if he's available to the Lions. That's it. Will Anderson is one of the best defensive players in college football I've ever seen. The season he had last year, not this year, but the year before, that was like Lawrence Taylor in '86 when he won the MVP, but the college version.
He should have won the Heisman.
He should have been
Definitely
in New
should
York,
have been in New
100%.
York.
Even above Aiden Hutchinson, and you know the slappy that I am.
He wasn't.
He had better numbers than Aiden Hutchinson, literally every category.
That's weird.
Oh, I'm an Aiden Hutchinson slappy when it comes to Michigan, but Will Anderson was the best defensive
Why do you
player.
guys say it like that? Why do you guys say it when it comes to Michigan? Why do you got to put that caveat on it?
Because I'm an Aiden Hutchinson slappy as a Lion too, but at Michigan, he's my favorite Michigan player of all time.
At Michigan last year.
Of all time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's your favorite Michigan player of all time?
Yes.
Wow.
But he's not my favorite Lion of all time. At least not yet, but he could get there.
You like him more than Braylon than Charles Woodson?
Yeah, I was like Charles Woodson went to Michigan.
I do. Well, Charles Woodson
You're too
was a
young.
little bit before my time.
That's
and
fair.
Aiden Hutchinson as
Desmond
an
Howard?
adult, well, also before my time.
I take Aiden over Desmond too, to be honest with you.
Like Aiden Hutchinson, sort of like as an adult, getting to really appreciate it. He was the guy that wrecked the Michigan versus Ohio State game. He's the guy that was
That's actually a great
the
point.
best defensive player I think Michigan has had since Charles Woodson, which was before my time. I
That's
mean,
also
with
true.
all due respect to Braylon Edwards, who used to hold that title for me and now is my coworker, which is pretty cool.
That is crazy.
Like,
that is pretty cool.
I was 12, 13 years old. You know how your fandom kind of evolves as you get older. You appreciate things a little bit more. Aiden Hutchinson is my favorite Michigan Wolverine.
That's fair. All right, Reggie Bush is mine. Not my Wolverine, but
Your favorite college player?
yeah.
Yeah.
Watching him and Vince Young battling out the Rose Bowl.
Reggie Bush is a good one.
Man, Reggie
Mine's
Bush.
probably Le'Veon.
Yeah, Le'Veon was a dog too.
Le'Veon was the man.
I didn't watch college football, but the one dude that ever got me to watch college football was Johnny Manziel when he just ran around like a nutcase and just threw the ball.
That's fair too. I mean,
Johnny Manziel was electric.
Yeah, say what you want. At the college level, he was extremely fun to watch.
Yeah,
Vince Young
won the Heisman.
Vince Young.
He was the first true freshman to win the Heisman.
He was.
Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
He was a monster. Also, like Mike Evans made his career, but that's I'll die on that hill every
sure.
day of the week.
But to the point that Chris was saying, like wavering away from Will Anderson, no. And just because, like I said, like I think Aleem is filling in that role in terms of he's going to take like the interior pressure and allow these other guys to eat. And Aiden is good. I don't want to say he's not good, but we haven't seen it consistently enough for me to like think he's going to be like an elite edge rusher, just a damn good football player, if that makes sense. To where like Will Anderson, I think he's an elite edge rusher. And I think Aleem is enough for Will Anderson.
Oh yeah, I mean, Will Anderson is a better prospect than Aiden was coming out. If Will Anderson would have came out last year, he would have been the number one pick.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, it's like we had this conversation a couple weeks back. Like this year's draft, or this past year's draft, I should say, was like it's shuffled. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this guy's one. Oh, this guy's one. All right, maybe this guy now. Will Anderson's clear cut one.
Clear cut.
Unless you need a quarterback.
Yeah, it's Bryce Young, Will Anderson.
Yes,
that's going to be 1-2.
Without a doubt, without a question. You made a face on. I was saying that the comments on Aiden.
I think he's going to be an elite edge rusher.
Yeah.
I think he can do that.
You are the Aiden Hutchinson slappy in the room, actually. I should ask you, Sam.
Yeah, I think he's going to be an elite edge rusher. I think he's a guy that's going to consistently get 10-plus sacks, make multiple Pro Bowls, multiple All-Pros. But just imagine, and I know this is far-fetched, but if the Rams pick goes to number 2, Aiden Hutchinson on one end and Will Anderson on the other.
It's not that far-fetched, though. Look, it's just a half a game.
I know, but we got so much more of the season left still.
No, you're right. But, like, if that were to happen, Aiden on one end, Will Anderson on the other, that could be that's elite.
And then take Joey Porter Jr.
Oh,
at
man.
14 or wherever
That's
the Lions end up.
orgasmic. that dude.
Put him next to Jeff Okudah.
I love Joey Porter just as like growing up watching like Pittsburgh football. Like, that was one of the teams that got me. Actually, it was Jerome Bettis. They had the Super Bowl here in Detroit, and I found out he was from Detroit. He was a chubbier, light skinned fella playing running back. So I was like, oh, I can do that. You know, didn't make it to the pros. But I was a Steelers fan. It was like my birth into like, you know, watching football, and so like Joey Porter was a part of that team too. Troy Polamalu, all those guys. So like, I admire Joey Porter from even now as a coach too. He's like the gotta get in your face and, you know, headbutt your helmet.
That would be having Hutch and Will Anderson on the ends of the line, and then Okudah and Joey Porter Jr. on the ends of your defense. That would be formidable.
That is
about
a
lockdown.
top 20 defense next year if that happens.
Already,
I truly believe that.
And then Kirby as like a playmaker.
Yeah,
He's going to
in the
develop
back.
at the safety position.
Malcolm
It's
playing.
just his second year ever playing safety.
You grab another linebacker in like the 4th round.
Top 15 defense.
Penei Sewell's brother.
Yeah.
I can see him slide down in the second.
Grab
With
a
2 second-round picks.
Grab a defensive tackle.
What are we doing, boys? We are
I'm kind
hyping
of
ourselves
excited
up
for- yeah,
right
I'm
now.
kind of
What are we
excited
doing?
for draft
No,
time.
like we're all like I'm like ready to just go now. I'm ready to run through the wall. It's like, dude, this is what
It's those conies and champagne. They're dangerous mixture, baby.
And now
in
you're
my belly
mentioning
right
the
now.
potential of Will
Pause.
Anderson and Joey Porter Jr. on the defense. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's too much. I can't handle
You
it.
just said, oh,
I know, I didn't have to say it, but I had to say it.
dancing in my belly right now.
Hey, yo!
That is
Dancing in
a
my
big-
belly.
Conies and champagne, that's the elixir of kings.
What if Mike G's trying to...
Yeah, he's
Trying to lay that
he spiked all the conies. Mike G put street grade ecstasy on top of all the conies. Oh, you thought all of those were onions?
You thought I was feeling you?
Yeah. You gonna munch these conies.
Oh my
thought I was
God.
feeling you?
You thought I was feeling you?
He just told us about Moneyball.
All right. Check out Moneyball Sportswear. It's your one-stop shop. Whether you want the latest look in athletic apparel or need uniforms for your team, Moneyball has it all. Stop in the Moneyball showroom in Southfield and experience our only way to ball. Or visit them at moneyballsportswear.com. Guys, Moneyball. It's the only way to ball, babe.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is Mike G. Is the butchery. Call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS. Or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery. Meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Wagyu meats and artisan breads. All inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. Again, guys, who do you trust to handle your meat? Should be the heavyweights and the butchery. So make sure you check out the butchery at thebutcherysl.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
You got young Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth the ones and twos, and a drunken Sam in the Maz chair. Shout out wearing Ohio State colors. If you want to be a Michigan fan, you just got to chug another champagne.
It is pretty wild.
I mean, I don't.
Literally, scarlet and
It's flannels. It's like my work uniform. I don't really plan them out. I just wear what I wear. Like,
That's fair.
You want to prove you're a Michigan fan? I'm just saying.
No, stop being a bad
saying.
friend.
Dude, terrible here.
You're being a terrible person.
You're being a terrible person. He's trying to have a good time. It's
He's
Victory
not.
Monday.
He literally said like 5 times.
He said
doesn't
it's one of the greatest moments of his life.
Yeah, and he also said he doesn't want to drink anymore.
Yeah.
You're peer pressuring him. You're being a bully.
Do you like drug? You want some drugs? I was kidding.
I'm back to my equilibrium, man. With the food, we got 20 minutes left. If you gave me another champagne,
You want some drugs? We can hit up Cocaine Bear. I think we got the plug.
You want to like some drugs?
I like how you just easily just ask that.
Yeah.
Want some drugs, kids? Here you go.
You don't want none of this, Sam.
Everybody knows you can go to that Dave Chappelle skit. Everybody knows you can go to Tyrone up the street.
Yeah, everybody knows you can go get $20, $30, $40 out your mama purse. Go down to 6th Street, take the Q line downtown, hit up Sanchez, because Sanchez shit is the bomb. Oh, kids are writing it down.
Yeah, the kids are like this. The kids are like this writing it down.
You don't even have to do that. You see those markers right there? Take the cap off, sniff them. Boom, you're hot. It's a great skit. Thanks, teacher, bitch. Oh, man.
All right, man. Back to the show. During the break, we kept kind of diving into this whole entirely hypothetical, slap-happy scenario for the Detroit Lions. So they land pick 2, and then Will Anderson falls to 2. We draft him, then we take Joey Porter.
Yeah.
You said you could then maybe move off of Tracy Walker in the offseason because of the emergence of Kirby Joseph.
Maybe you ship out Tracy Walker for a 4th-round pick or whatever you can get out of him because of the emergence of Corey Joseph.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Kojo.
God.
From 3.
I hope that Corey Joseph doesn't
He
emerge.
should not be named.
Because of the emergence of Kirby Joseph, maybe you move on and you go with the all youngins. Go with the whole young defense. I don't know. I think you'd still keep Tracy unless you get a crazy offer for him.
Yeah.
But that is something that makes me so happy.
So happy.
Thinking of the Lions having Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson, sorry.
You're good.
And then Joey Porter Jr. and Jeff Okudah. That would be
drugged in the dogs.
Yeah. Those dogs are hitting me, man. No, but Joey Porter Jr. and Jeff Okudah are 2 big, long, rangy cornerbacks. And then you have guys like Aiden Hutchinson and Will Anderson that just can tear the head off of the quarterback. That would be formidable. Like Sam said, that would be a top 20 defense next year.
Next year, going from 32, which hopefully by the end of the year they're above 32, to top 20. Like, with just those players as rookies in another year of progression for Aiden Hutchinson and Jeff Okudah. Like, just even thinking about that, which, as Chris said, it's not outside of the realm of possibilities. What could that do to this Detroit Lions rebuild? They'd be a playoff team next year. Even if they kept Jared Goff as quarterback, they would be a playoff team next year if you got those guys. Dude, like, you can't do this to me when I'm already super on a high from that like Michigan win, and now thinking of Joey Porter Jr. and Will Anderson on the defense.
That'd be wild.
That'd be impressive.
The crazy thing too is, like, there's gonna be a quarterback, like, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong,
that wants out.
Well, no, well, maybe that too, but a quarterback that's worth taking a look at in the second round.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Anthony Richardson, whether it's
Hendon Hooker.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you can still grab, dare I say it, even Spencer Rattler.
No.
His name's buzzing up a little bit.
No. Spencer Rattler is like the least Dan
bit.
Campbell guy out there.
He had a legacy game though against Tennessee.
6
the game of his
touchdowns.
life when everything was against him. He threw 6 touchdowns. And then he quarterbacked a team that went to Clemson and beat Clemson. Although, speaking of quarterbacks, DJ Uyunglele was disgusting.
That was a big swing and a miss. I'm glad I only told you that. And
you said the pod back there, too.
and didn't like put it on live air. Is that I thought DJ Uyunglele was gonna like come back, because I mean, like, the dude's got all of the measurables. You know, he's 6'4".
It's a crazy
fast.
name.
I would not enjoy
He's
saying
got a
that name.
cannon.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear it.
Uyunglele. Yeah.
I want Gus Johnson to call one of his games for sure.
Oh, Uyunglele.
Yeah. It sounds like he's doing like a haka dance or something. So speaking of Aiden Hutchinson, who we'd line up alongside Will Anderson, no tackles, No, not nothing in the Bills game. I didn't keep an eye on him. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't watch the film on it. Was it just like a coincidence? Like,
yeah, I think they're kind of avoiding him. Honestly.
Come on.
What? You think it's crazy that they're gonna try to avoid the only player on the defense that can really get to the quarterback from the defensive line?
Did you keep your eyes on him during the game, Sam?
I did. And Aiden Hutchinson, it wasn't all his fault. I mean, you're going to game plan for their best defensive edge rusher, but at the same time, Aiden Hutchinson certainly, in my opinion, may have lost some ground in the defensive rookie of the year race to a guy like Sauce Gardner or like a Tariq Woolen or somebody like that, because you got to keep performing. You got to make splash plays. And they lost the Lions lost the game to the Bills, albeit it's not the worst loss, but it's still a loss. Mm-hmm. And Aiden Hutchinson had no impact on that game. Those are the type of games we were seeing from him at the beginning of the year, where they would lose and Aiden Hutchinson would have no impact. Is that all his fault? No, but that's the reality of the situation. Number 2 overall pick, he's swimming in the waters of defensive rookie of the year. It's just one of those games that doesn't help that case.
I just can't get that Tyrone Biggum skit out of my mind. The one where he's like, I smoked that, and all of my favorite cartoon characters, Scooby-Doo and Mickey Mouse, we come and hang out in my room and be singing songs and playing games for 17 hours. We're sitting in the back, and in the back, Mickey Mouse is doing the bass song like, ba 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 boo, ba 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 boo. Dude, oh my God, that is such a good skit.
I'm watching that after.
It's so good.
I have to watch it now after too. I don't want to sound, because like I know how this goes. Like you say, honest criticism of a player,
yeah,
and then like the fans,
he hates him. He hates him.
Yeah.
This is the guy that said they should have drafted Kayvon.
Exactly.
He hates him already. It's bias.
That's like even when we were like complimenting Aiden, they're like, "Oh, he says the guy who said he was a bust."
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never once said Aiden was a bust. Never in my life. But I do want to ask: would you be mad if it ended up being like a Chris Long situation?
Yes.
Yes, he can't be Chris Long. Chris Long obviously was a very good player. He contributed to a Super Bowl winning defense, but Chris Long, I mean, you got to do. I mean, he was just a good player for a very short period of time. He wasn't a great player. He wasn't generationally impactful. And when you get a guy like at number 2, especially to a defense that isn't very good, you can't beat Chris Long. I mean, is it the worst thing in the world? No, but if anybody who said that Aiden Hutchinson was going to be Chris Long would have been highly disappointed. You got to be better.
Yeah, for sure. You don't draft Chris Long number 2 overall. You're drafting the guy number 2 overall because you think he's going to be your game-breaking, star of your defense. That's why he definitely has the ability to be that.
Well, you know what I always pull out when I want to make Jared Goff fans cry is my dick. No, I'm just kidding. But, I pulled out the Rich Eisen interview that Brad Holmes had. But in that same interview where he mentioned if there was a guy there, quarterback would have took him. Mm-hmm. Jared Goff fans. He also said that was his comparison for Aiden was Chris Long.
Do you think Aiden Hutchinson is going to be Chris Long?
I don't know what he's going to be. It's been so up and down.
Cop out.
Is it a cop out though? I mean, like this season's been crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Like
cop out.
Last week, nothing. Other week, interceptions.
He's a rookie, man.
Other week, sacks. Yeah, I know.
It's his first year in the league. He's playing on the worst defense in the NFL.
I'm not saying it's going to be Chris Long. I don't know what
I would almost plant my flag that he's going to have a better career than Chris Long.
It's not a hard one to be better than.
Exactly.
All due respect to Chris Long. Obviously, he played in the league very, very long time. Did he win? No, he didn't win with the Rams. But he went to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, though.
Yes.
I asked myself that.
Did he win with the Raiders? He might have won with the Raiders.
He won with the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Howie Long.
I was like, Raiders. Yeah,
that was Howie.
I'm like, dude, that's like the 50s.
Yeah.
Like 70s.
No, yeah, I think he'll be better than Chris Long.
I'll watch the tape tonight. I'll let you guys know. I'll slide you my NFL Plus login if you don't watch it too. I just don't know what to make of it sometimes. That's all.
That's fair.
I mean, you can make the excuse, like the rookie excuse, and here's why. Because Aiden Hutchinson has showed us that he belongs in this league. He has showed us that he can make game-wrecking plays in games in which the Lions defense plays well and they win. So, to me, having a game where he's not even necessarily bad, he's just unimpactful against one of the best teams in the NFL, that's to be expected. It's not great. It's not
what you
ideal.
want to see.
Yeah. Right, not what you want to see, but he's already earned so much goodwill that I think unless he completely implodes down the stretch, to me, we have our guy. We have a guy who belongs in this league, who can be a star. I mean, Chris Long, he only had one season which he had double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
That's like to even bring up Chris Long right now, I think it's a little blasphemous.
I do too. I think, like you said,
you're also both drunk.
I'm not drunk. He's shown that he has
Sipping champagne on.
He's shown that he has that game-breaking ability. He's shown that he has that big playability, and a big part of being great and becoming a great player is doing that consistently through a season, and that also comes with time spent in the NFL, knowing how to take care of your body, knowing when to do what, knowing the rigors of an NFL season. So it is it is something that he'll learn. He doesn't really have that guy there either. He doesn't have that veteran that can show him how to do things.
That's fair.
You know, so
he was giving Charles Harris some praise, but there are also other interviews where he
I don't
was
want Charles Harris teaching Aiden Hutchinson anything, respectively.
Hey, dude.
Respectively.
Hey. Who's my man that taught Darius Slay a lot? He wasn't necessarily like a... I think he made a Pro Bowl. Yeah. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but tell us about Guardian Alarm.
I will, because Guardian Alarm will keep you safe or
too.
give you peace of mind. Yeah, shout out to Guardian Alarm for the champagne. But Guardian Alarm will keep you safe and give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. With their 24/7 local monitoring, they make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800...
Stay out!
That's 1-800...
Stay out!
Right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuffa Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. That's what you look like if you're eating conies and drinking champagne at the desk.
Oh my God, it's Ryan Armani! It's Ryan Armani!
That's literally Carl Weiser. But that is what Ryan used to look like. And now, thanks to the help of Custom Health Centers, he's down 20 pounds already. And he looks great. He feels great. And he's walking around here like he owns the place. And it's not just because Michigan just won. It was before that. But if you want the help to lose almost 20 pounds or more, make sure you contact Custom Health Centers at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-THIN.
I love that. Remember the number and everything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was on screen.
It's on the screen.
Oh, not impressed. Stupid. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Everyway's live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, JB Smooth, Drunken Sam. On a Victory Monday, wearing red and scarlet. I mean, scarlet and gray. We'll get over it. You know, it's whatever.
Come on.
It's whatever.
It's true.
All right, yeah. That was a faux pas by me. I don't plan my fan.
That was a what?
A faux pas.
A fupa.
A faux pas.
Fat upper.
I know what a fupa is. What's a faux pas?
A faux pas means like a mistake, right? Nobody's ever heard.
I've heard of faux pas. I've heard
there
of
you
faux
go.
pas.
I've never heard people use it.
I bet Terry's heard of faux pas.
Maz has heard of faux pas.
Back in my day. Yeah.
Maz
faux
faux
pas
pas.
all over the place.
I teased it earlier in the show, and I didn't want to like dive too much into it because I feel like we've done this topic like so many damn times. As a fan base, we are so damn anxious to see Jameson Williams suit up for the Detroit Lions and actually play in a football game.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Jared Goff could utilize everything he can do.
Probably not.
But I'm
can at
damn
least
sure
give the
excited to
ball
find
to
out.
him.
Yes. He'd take it to the crib on just even short intermediate routes so he could just... I just didn't see it. Because people are literally saying... like, and I'm like, I have to like temper a little bit because people are calling him the fastest like player in the league, but it's like we haven't seen him in the league yet. Plus, I was watching Tyreek Hill yesterday. I'm like, there's just like... he's like watching something in fast forward.
Yeah. It's
against regular humans. It's insane.
It's completely different. It's different. Like I said, I texted Malcolm after the game when they played the Dolphins, and I was like, "Is he like how fast is he like in real life?" Because he was like, "Dude, he's ridiculous."
It's insane to watch. It makes no sense. It looks like it's like I said, it looks like doctored film.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like I don't even know.
And it doesn't even look like he's like trying that hard.
I know.
And he's just
he stops and goes like when he wants.
The
like
cheetah.
He truly is a cheetah. And like to be fair too, like so Jalen Waddle was supposed to be the second coming of that in like what 2 drafts ago.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think Waddle's even like close to that.
Waddle is not that
near
fast. I mean, he's fast.
That's why I want to temper my JMO expectations because
Don't
like
temper, let him out.
No, dude, because
Let
I'm
the
gonna
faux
be
pas out.
heartbroken. Let the faux pas out.
Let the faux
So
pas
unbuttons,
out.
unzip.
Yeah, unzip. Let the faux pas fly.
Are you with me at all, Sam? You think we got temper expectations?
Sam's not tempering anything right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're right. Sam don't temper nothing.
Jameson
He's taking
Williams.
credit for half a national championship.
Jesus Christ. Jameson Williams is the single most explosive player I've ever seen in college football. He was literally last year the college Tyreek Hill. So
He was.
I'm not saying that he's going to jump into the league and be as electric as Tyreek Hill is now, but I do think he has that kind of like different kind of football speed. The type of speed where when you look at the fastest players in the NFL, it's Tyreek Hill and Jameson Williams. The type of speed that if he were able to participate in the combine, he may have broken the damn record. So Jameson Williams coming back, my goodness, especially in a game against Jacksonville that is must win if the Lions want to, have any sort of shot at the playoffs. Having Jameson Williams, just adding that explosive element, which I believe will be a factor almost on day one that he's back.
For sure.
Like,
it brings a whole new element to the defense. Nobody on the defense or offense. Nobody on the offense is like that, and that's what the defense of other teams has to account for. They have to realize, like, if this kid gets the ball in his hands, he can take it the distance. We don't have a player on the offense right now that you can say that about. Maybe Swift when he's healthy, he's explosive, but Jameson Williams is like game-breaking.
Well, it's crazy because our deep threat beforehand was like Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
And like he's better than Josh Reynolds.
He's washed.
All due respect,
Josh Reynolds is washed.
That's very mean to say. You should apologize to him right now.
I apologize.
Much like Russell Wilson, he'd wash you.
Josh Reynolds, yes. I don't think.
Honestly, I give you a better chance against Josh Reynolds and Russell Wilson.
What? Are you serious?
Josh Reynolds skinny as hell.
Russell Wilson's like 5'7".
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's 5'10".
That's what they tell you. You're
5'11".
5'10" too, Easy. We believe in you, buddy. Dude, I'm dog walking Russell Wilson.
Dude, Russell Wilson's
and I'm playing. I'm rapping Future the whole time I'm doing it.
No, you're not because your mouth.
No,
gone. You're lisping.
Trey goes
Future.
in with a book bag.
Think about this. Because I've always thought this. And hear me out here. I've always had this theory that like baseball players, specifically pitchers, must punch hard as hell.
Well, yeah.
Russell Wilson, former baseball player, quarterback. It's got to be a.
I don't care. He's still.
Just
I don't want. I can't
ringing
use
your
the
bell.
words.
And like another thing for
to
baseball, what
explain
position do you
it.
play in baseball?
Shortstop or third base.
I mean, nonetheless, hand-eye is like a must in baseball.
I got good hand-eye coordination.
He's got elite. He's drafted in the MLB.
That's true.
He's got pro sports.
He's a one-hitter quitter. I love you though.
Russell Wilson's probably never been in a fight in his life.
I mean, that's fair.
That's very
gated
true.
community ass. I'm gonna headbutt him right in his big ass nose.
Who'd you say?
I said gated community ass.
Oh, okay. I thought you said a different community. Down that way. What? I was like, what are you doing? You're trying to get us canceled out here, man.
Russell Wilson comes from a sheltered lifestyle, and I'll headbutt him right in his face. You won't know what to do.
All right, before we leave the show, do you actually think J-Mo comes back this week, yes or no?
Yes. I hope so.
Yes.
Chris?
Ooh, no. I think one more week.
JB?
No. We still got another week for him.
No.
All right. Well, you guys are all downers. But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping in. Yeah, shout out to Mike G for buying those conies and fries. Shout out to Guardian Alarm for hooking up this champ. But that'll do it for us today. You know where to see us. That is woodwardsports.com. You know when. That is 5 to 7 Monday through Friday. He is the one, the only Speakeasy. We got young Chris in the TD booth. JB Smooth on the ones and twos. Flannel Sam on a Victory Monday. And myself, Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.